Thank you very much for staying on the program. Now, flags are expected to fly at half-mast starting today as government declares 3 days of mourning following Accra's disastrous floods and fire which killed over 150 people. President John Mahama gave the directive after a crisis meeting held at the Flagstaff House over the devastation on Thursday. In a statement, Communications Minister Dr. Edward Omane Boama encouraged all Ghanaians and the general public to wear black or red armbands and clothing to mourn with the families of the victims. We cannot get further details from the statement. My colleague, MFA Eli, has joined me in the studio with extras of the statement. What else is the statement saying, MFA?
Yeah, you remember last week when the incident happened, the president declared that there's going to be a 3-day national mourning.
Indeed.
And which is starting this morning till Wednesday. Let me read these portions. That says the 3 days of mourning will end on Wednesday, June 10, with a memorial service for the departed near the sites of the fire disaster at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, to be attended by President John Dramani Mahama. That means the president, any moment from now, will be at Circle to commence the national mourning. And it also says, as we go about our work and other duties during the 3 days, let us remember the victims and pray for their souls and pray for the strength and comfort for their families. The ministry is encouraged, that's the Ministry of Communications, which issued this statement, is encouraging all to wear red clothing, be it an armband, a dress, whatever in red, to join their families to mourn the dead. Basically, that's what it's saying.
Indeed, which I believe is what we'll be doing on the program this morning. I just want to say that we'll bring updates from the president's visit to commence the National Mourning Day here on Joy News. But that's not all. You also recall that after Wednesday's devastating downpour, some public schools, or public schools generally, were also asked to close down indefinitely until further notice. Now, the Ministry of Communications has also released a statement on that. MFA will take us through that.
Exactly. This statement says, following our prior notice last Thursday that schools be closed till further notice, we wish to announce the return to normalcy and that all schools should be reopened from tomorrow, Monday, which is today. The statement was issued last night, the 8th of June 2015. We request full compliance and ask that heads of institutions remain on the alert for any further communication as and when we are advised by the Meteorological Department and NADMO. So it means that if we should visit some of the schools this morning, school children are supposed to be in the classroom with their teachers and academic work is supposed to be ongoing.
And I believe we're going to be checking on that
exactly.
as well.
We have our reporters on location who are doing the checks, and then we get in touch with them
to
bring us the latest on that.
Thank you very much, MFA. So there you have it. Those public schools are supposed to return to school. But let's stay on events after the devastating downpour on Wednesday. The National Democratic Congress has called off activities to mark its 23rd anniversary. According to a statement, the suspension is as a result of the calamity that hit the nation last week. The NDC is also asking all of its members to be decorous and conscious of the mood of the nation. Well, in a statement signed by Acting General Secretary Koku Anidoho, the decision was taken in view of the calamity that the nation is faced with at the moment, and the NDC has called off its 23rd anniversary celebrations. We can now speak with Koku Anidoho for further details of the NDC's activities during this period. Good morning, Koku.
Good morning, madam.
Koku, now that you've called of the anniversary, the 23rd anniversary, what next for the NDC?
Well, we all know what we are going through as a nation. And so we are unable to commemorate our 23rd anniversary as would have been. And so we are calling on supporters to accept the mood of the nation and just continue to mourn wherever you find yourself. If you can help with cleanup exercises, if you can go about or go to hospitals and donate blood as is being required by the Ministry of Health, do so. So the mood of the NDC is in tandem with the mood of the nation. We are able to celebrate our birthday while the whole nation is mourning, because, of course, the leader of our party is the President of the Republic, and he has declared 3 days of mourning, and so we can't do anything that is at variance with his call.
Of course. Now, are we expecting the NDC to do anything in particular in support of victims of the flood now that you've called off your 23rd anniversary celebration?
Well, madam, that's what I said, that we're just encouraging our supporters that let's help with the civic responsibility, because as it is now, it's very obvious that civic responsibility is the key word that we're going to use now going forward. We can't continue to live as a people and not accept the fact that we have our own responsibilities beyond what the government has. So let's all together accept that buildings cannot be built in waterways. Let us accept that filling stations cannot be built in residential areas. And let us begin the citizens' arrest of the situations that will kill people, because the Constitution allows us to effect citizens' arrest. And so let us arrest the social situations that may, in the long run, hurt more people than just one person whose building, or one person whose building must be demolished, or one filling station that must not rise up in a residential area. So we are just calling on our people that let's get out there.
For how long will this call-off take place? For how long will it stay?
Oh, well, it's only a birthday, and birthdays come every year. So if we miss one birthday this year, why? There will be another June 10th next year. And for as long as we exist as human beings, many more June 10th will come. So
in other words, this is not a postponement.
No, not a postponement. It's a cancellation.
Very well.
In tandem with the mood of the nation.
We'll leave it here. Thank you very much, Kwaku Anyudu, who is Acting General Secretary for the National Democratic Congress, who tells us has cancelled its 23rd anniversary in tandem with the mood of the nation following the calamity, the twin disasters at Odona in Accra. But victims of last Wednesday flood and fire disaster at Odona in Accra will continue to receive relief items from the Multimedia Group Limited. This is crucial, especially because the National Disaster Management Organization says more than 8,000 victims require basic needs. The first in the series of events to support victims took place Sunday afternoon when a team of staff and volunteers offered food and personal items to these victims, most of whom have lost their belongings. Joy News' Adedasa has more.
The team went from house to house to offer lunch to victims who were busily salvaging what items they could from the ruins. Their reaction was priceless. Clothes, toiletries and water were also distributed to the victims. Survivors were grateful to be alive as they recounted the harrowing experience. The fire came from this direction. We all tried to get to a safe place as flood waters also took over the entire house. My sister's child was lucky. God protected her as the water carried her away. Some of us had no choice but to seek refuge on top of this weak wall. By God's grace, we managed to hold on till the boat came for us. I'm in so much pain. My back hurts a lot. Frankie Yeboah is a commercial driver who sustained burns on both legs.
I'm a store bi market in any more cool store. The Jinawa transit in Betty, nay, I to me a free market.
I was standing in front of a shop waiting for the rain to cease. The electricity went out after lightning struck. Then we saw water with fire on top coming towards us. We tried swimming but realized we were trapped between flood and fire. I have lost my license and am unable to work at the moment. We thank you for coming to our aid.
Street in the filling station one. I'm here, Juma. I'm license to try a case crime medicine and the aquarium for. I started Juma. The Adamoasipa, the Yankopuasi, Semuchuma boy.
Multimedia's call for help for victims yielded positive results as generous people came around to donate money and food.
On behalf of the Ghana Chamber of Bulk Distributors and its membership, the BDCs, we are donating a sum of 20,000 Ghana cedis to the Joy Needy Fund to help meet and support those who have been badly affected by the current disaster.
Organizers of the event say they will continue to offer help to victims as long as necessary.
We're going to be here for the entire week, and if we keep receiving donations, yes, probably it will be extended to a month. In addition to that, we're also going to be setting up a counseling unit here. Some of them are traumatized, so we're bringing together some counselors to come and give them counseling, and through that we'll also educate them on how to, dispose of rubber, especially because that seems to be the bane of the challenges we're facing here.
Meanwhile, gutters in the area are still choked. Oil residue is still floating on water 4 days after the disaster. Moving forward, Multimedia intends to tailor its programming towards educating people on the need to keep their environment clean to avert such disasters. The donation drive is still ongoing. People are encouraged to give generously to help relieve the plight of victims.
I'm coming on that road. All right.
Please follow the link.